Thermostats are funny because they're not really something we think about a whole lot when they are working fine, but when they're not working fine and there's an issue, they seem to be a little more complicated than we initially thought. So in today's video, I want to go over some of the biggest mistakes I see homeowners don't seem to know when it comes to their thermostat. Let's dive into this. Some of these tips may actually save you money in the end, and some of these may actually add to your comfort. So let's dive into this. Number one, and this first one, I'm going to try to keep somewhat basic. If you've ever seen the old infomercial where they say, set it and forget it.
You follow all instructions and you set it and forget it.
That does ring true when we're talking about thermostats in most scenarios. Now, there's exceptions to every rule. There are, of course, thermostats that you can run schedules in, and there will be periodic changing of the thermostat regardless. Without getting too far in the weeds and going through the auxiliary heat and some of the other things we're going to talk about later in this video, ultimately just knowing that when you are adjusting the temperature, especially a lot, you can be affecting things like which stage it runs in. So if you were to have a multi-stage system, adjusting the thermostat periodic can actually hurt your energy bills as you are going up and down in temperature because it has to adjust those stages to try to meet demand. I remember working for a company years ago where the lady in the office would intentionally just turn the thermostat up 1 degree at a time. And then when it would reach temperature, she'd go up another degree. And this was like often she was fighting this battle because she was so concerned about the backup heat coming on. It had a little light that would come on that particular thermostat when that would happen. Ultimately, find a temperature that you're comfortable with most days and on most scenarios, unless you're not spending a whole lot of time in that space of your home or so on, then just selecting a temperature and leaving it there will alleviate a lot of those problems. Now, I'm not saying adjusting the temperature won't save you money in some scenarios. In fact, running that schedule, as we talked about a moment ago, could in fact help you save energy. But just understand, especially in heating mode, cooling mode too, depending on the type of system you have, but more so with heating mode, when you do have those backup auxiliary heating stages, whether it's gas or electric, just know those backup stages will kick in when there's a large heat droop or deadband, depending on the type of scenario we're talking about here. So find that comfortable temperature. The lower it is in the winter, I've seen websites talking about statistics where each degree you lower it in the wintertime will save you this much money, or vice versa, each degree that it is higher in the summer. Ultimately, I would say whatever that degree is, whatever temperature you fall on, allowing that system to never have those large dead bands in temperature, meaning the set point versus ambient room temperature, and allowing that system to hopefully just run in the most efficient stage possible. Number two, location. Did you know that the location of the thermostat can play a role in its operation, how comfortable you are, what your utility bills may ultimately be, and so on? For example, in my own home, whoever installed that thermostat, they installed it right by the front door. And so on days where maybe we're going in and out of the front door more often than others, we're letting cool air in the winter or that cool air out in the summer, ultimately that thermostat is affected by that. And so if it is near an entrance or exit of the building, if it's near a window where it's being hit by direct sunlight, if it's near other things in your home that can create heat, such as an appliance or even a light. I've seen some websites where they've explored how that can affect the thermostat. Ultimately, it could affect the readings that the thermostat is getting and how it operates. As a general rule, most heating and air guys, we're going to be looking for a location that's near a return. Hopefully, we're going to be looking for a location that is close to the most center part of that floor plan or the area that it is conditioning or heating. We're going to be looking hopefully for a dark location, not near a window. A lot of thermostats I've seen mounted in the hallway away from high traffic areas near that return. And of course, not near anything else like a bathroom or kitchen that could also affect the operation of that thermostat. Not near a fireplace, for example, things like that. Location does matter. And I'll go one step further on location, and also say that the thermostat installation, meaning not just where it's located, but also making sure you're, say, sealing the hole behind that thermostat where the wire comes out of the wall. Believe it or not, air in that wall cavity can affect it. It affects it in some homes more than others, depending on how the home is built, how well insulated it is, where that air could be coming from. I remember a really old home near where I live. It was built like almost 100 years ago. Apparently, they used to build homes where the walls were set before the floors were set. So today, most homes, they're going to lay that subfloor and then start building the walls. But they would build the walls first. And because of that, the air from the basement was coming up through the walls more than, say, typical homes today. And that affected that thermostat big time. We had to make sure that that hole was definitely sealed in that home. Number 3, I think there's some settings in that thermostat that we need to look at. Some settings like, what is the heat droop set at, backup heat stage timer, the balance point, depending on the type of system that it is, and going through some of those settings and making sure that they are set correctly. Sometimes when they're left on the factory settings, I've had homeowners actually call us for a service call only to find out that the homeowner installed that thermostat, not understanding what some of those settings were or that they mattered as much as they do. And that could be a big mistake as well. It could play a role big time in your comfort more than anything. Efficiency as well. But when some of these things we're talking about are not set correctly, it could really affect your comfort. Number 4, auto changeover or changeover of some type. Different brands call it something different. But ultimately, we're talking about using that temperature range, especially if you live in a part of the United States where there's certain times of the year that we are using both heating and cooling. So where I live, there are multiple times of the year, definitely in the spring and fall. And there are nights when that heat's going to kick on and days within 12 hours that now the air conditioning is coming on. And so having that temperature range set on that thermostat will allow that system to ultimately keep you comfortable. It'll keep it in that comfortable range. Also, yes, you're going to possibly have that heat kick on and then AC kick on, but because you're keeping it in such a tight window, most thermostats we're looking at 3 to 5 degrees. Even when it gets to that other mode, it doesn't have so far to go. Now, I'm not making the argument saying that it's an efficiency thing. Ultimately, auto changeover is almost always going to be a comfort thing. You want to keep it in that tight window so that way you and your family are comfortable. And finally, number 5 is humidity control. A lot of thermostats today have the ability to control the humidity, accessories that can adjust that humidity as well. So whether it's a humidifier, dehumidifier, a lot of thermostats today have built-in humidistats, and it will allow you the ability to control not just the temperature in your home, but also the humidity as well. Why is that important? Well, that plays a big role in ultimately your comfort, but it can also play a big role in how healthy the air you're breathing is as well. Humidity control is one of the big 3 when it comes to indoor air quality. If you ever watch any of my other content, the big 3 for me is always filtration, ventilation, and humidity control. And as long as you're taking care of those 3 things, in most cases, the air you're breathing is going to be much more safer than your neighbor's house. But back to comfort, just keeping that humidity in check. My old boss used to say 72 degrees in your house ain't equal to 72 degrees in my house. Because if you've got really high humidity or I've got really low humidity, depending on what that looks like, can play a big role on how that 72 degrees feels. So not just having the ability to monitor the humidity, but also having the ability to control that humidity with your thermostat as well. That's another big mistake a lot of homeowners make. That's my big 5. We did not even talk about some other things like calibration, deadband adjustment, or extended fan runtime. We will probably cover those items in a future video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you like this video, I think you'll like this one even more. It's where I talk about the reasons I think Americans hate mini splits. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.